Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for the week of April 18th. We're just going to jump right in here, Gemini, and we are going to see what is going on for you at this time. I keep forgetting this whole entire deck is upside down, so if you're wondering why I flipped it over, it's because the whole deck is upside down. But let's see what is going on for you here, Gemini, at this time. It is interesting that it came up in reverse with the Eight of Cups as well, because the Two of Swords in reverse can be about like needing to make a decision, needing to go to the other side, which we'll talk about in a minute, and the Eight of Cups would obviously kind of be the same thing. So it is kind of interesting that it came up like that. By the way, there will be a part 2 to this reading linked up in the description down below. You have this Total Submersion card. It says, don't be afraid to totally immerse yourself into a project. You have the Eight of Pentacles here, same thing. It says yourself into a project, interest, or goal. Give it 100% of your energy and you may find what your life has been lacking. Love it. This is definitely a very good energy, especially right now. I feel this for pretty much everyone. As a matter of fact, I did an entire video in my Chris in a Box course that I just launched the other day. An entire video kind of like all about really immersing yourself into a project. And, you know, I really feel it's like super important right now that we just, you know, I'll just tell you what was in the video, right? I think we just need to focus on one thing right now and make it happen, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. So if you're working on any projects, any businesses, any ideas, plans, writing a book, any relationships, right? I feel like giving 100% is going to lead to the most success. It's kind of interesting because the Nine of Cups comes up for everyone. You don't have the Nine of Cups, of course, because I'm trying to make a point. But the point is, right? You do have this Wishbone card, which is about making a wish. But the whole point of the Nine of Cups is about really soaking in an energy, really living it on a very deep level. I always tell people, you know, people always ask me, they say, I want to be a YouTuber. What should I do? I'm like, well, create videos, right? Successful YouTubers, what do? They just create videos, right? Doesn't matter what you do. Just do it. Just get started. And so I feel like that's like the secret right now is that if you want to be something, do something, have something, just do it. And I know that sounds easier said than done, but I would just say jump right in, right? And get started. People, you know, I gave some example. I'll give you some examples as well. It's like there's some examples like maybe you want to start a restaurant or something like that. Just start cooking for your friends. It's like it's not a restaurant, but it's similar. It's like so maybe we have to take our goals and we have to break them down to bite-sized pieces, but that's what I'd be doing if I were you. You have the Five of Wands, the Emperor, and the Hermit here. The Five of Wands talks all about competition. I would say that I think there's a lot going on in the astrology intuitively that might be making us feel very small. And what I mean by that is it's like maybe we have this idea to do something that we want to do, but then we see the competition. Five of Wands, competition. But I always like to remind people, if something is for you, it's for you. It doesn't matter how much competition there is. The other thing I like to remind people is that your path is not like anyone else's. So it's like, just because there's competition, it doesn't matter. Like, it might be part of your path, might be part of your journey to do something that you want to do, and it doesn't matter how many people are working on it, right? And what is also interesting is we go Five of Wands to the Eight of Cups to the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Cups has an eclipse on it right here, and it's the only card in the tarot that has an eclipse. We have an eclipse at the end of the month, April 30th. So, I don't know. This reading is kind of like fitting in very well. It could be like after the eclipse that you decide to really put work into something. I wouldn't really worry about the retrograde. Yes, on May 10th, we have Mercury Retrograde. But this to me looks like something you've probably been thinking about working on already. So it's perfectly acceptable to work on something during retrograde that you've already been working on or that you've already been planning, right? Perfectly fine to do that. And I feel like some of you could be doing that. You have this Emperor here. I do feel like this could be a person in your life, you know, that you're dealing with. For some of you, good. For some of you, bad. I feel both, honestly, here. So take it how it resonates. But some of you could be walking away from a controlling energy. And it looks like to me like you're moving towards this Three of Pentacles, which is, you know, Three of Pentacles is a much more co-creative energy. So some of you could be going through a breakup, Three of Swords, and you could be moving towards something that's much more co-creative, which is nice. You also have this Hermit here. The Hermit says you've been through a lot. I feel like a lot of people are in the Hermit zone right now. Hermit, you know, Hermit mode could be kind of feeling very withdrawn. I feel like the universe is asking us to kind of really, you know, kind of blast out into the world. He's holding the star in a lantern here. You can see the stars in the lantern, but it's contained, you know, it's in the lantern. He needs to blast his star all over the place. And I feel like the universe is like begging people to do this, to share their wisdom, their knowledge. It could be in any way that you could possibly imagine. For some of you, I keep telling people, just being a living example is good enough right now. It's like if you're doing things that no one around you has ever done before, like, you know, I always use the example of like maybe no one in your family has ever gone to school and you're going to college, right? That's a good example. It's like you're being a living example for the people around you. That's just one example. Maybe no one has ever started a business. You could start a business or anything else. I would be sharing your voice right now, or sharing something, because, you know, it's probably one of the most spiritual things you could do at this time. Next, you have the Two of Swords. Again, Two of Swords is like a card needing to make a decision. Normally, the lady on the Two of Swords, she's like she has two swords like this. They're like crossed over her heart. She has a blindfold on. There's a new island behind her. She needs to make the decision to go to that new island behind her because there's like new stuff over there. If she took her blindfold off and if she put her swords down, she could see that the water is actually going out. She could easily walk over to that island that is behind her. And I feel like some of you need to do that. You actually have a lot of cards that represent adventure here. The Five of Wands is a card that I call Indiana Jones. To me, it represents like going on some sort of crazy adventure to find some treasure. It's actually a good card because these people are learning, they're training, they're learning how to fight. You have the King of Cups as well. The King of Cups has this boat right above my finger there, right behind him. The boat on the King of Cups represents adventure. It represents kind of going into the unknown as well. So I kind of get like a very adventurous energy for you. I do feel this could be talking about love here. I feel there have been a lot of disappointments in love for you based off that 8 of Cups, 4 of Cups. So this could be a love offer, and it's like, I feel like you're questioning whether or not to accept it. So that definitely is popping into my head. Next, you have the 8 of Cups. I literally feel that this 8 of Cups is just talking about the eclipse at the end of the month. Could be a very important time for you. I feel like you could be making a lot of changes, making a lot of decisions, you know, all sorts of stuff like that. So the end of the month seems very interesting, like you could be doing a lot of stuff, and I just feel like it's very busy. And I also feel like this is talking about the change between now and then. Like, I feel like it's going to be a dramatic change, and I don't mean to be dramatic, but I just feel like, you know, the energy now compared to then, like when we get to May 1st-ish, like somewhere around there, I feel like there's like a total swing in the energy for you to the point where you actually feel it. And it looks like a good thing to me because I feel, again, not to jump too far ahead, but in that diagonal, you go to the 8 of Pentacles. And the 8 of Pentacles, like being very motivated, and it's a card of quality work as well. You have 2 cards of quality work. 3 of Pentacles is the card of quality work, and the 8 of Pentacles is like diligent work, working, you know, kind of diligently towards something. So really nice energy. You have the 3 of Swords here. 3 of Swords could be a heartbreak. I feel like everybody is dealing with something right now. I think that, you know, I don't think I know. It's almost impossible to not be dealing with some sort of, it doesn't have to be a heartbreak, but it could be like a challenge or something that you feel is controlling you emotionally. It could be a belief as well. You know, it could be a belief that you're not good enough to do something or not good enough to have something. Like I said at the beginning of the reading, maybe you feel like you're too small to do something. And the 3 of Swords is about needing to kind of release that part of you is what I feel there. Next, you have this Fly card. It says a period of ill health and depression. Definitely take care of yourself with that 3 of Swords for sure. And I'm not a doctor, so do not take this as medical advice, but I would make sure you're staying healthy. And you have this Wishbone card, which is a good card. It just says a wish being granted. So I would say make a wish at this time, but I would definitely also make sure you're taking care of yourself. I think that, you know, number one, Mars retrograde year. Mars will go retrograde at the end of the year. I don't care. To me, the whole entire year has to do with Mars retrograde. And so Mars retrograde, we can feel tired, we can feel low on energy and all that other stuff. So I would take care of yourself, like I said. And during Mercury retrograde, you know, stuff can come up. So just make sure you're taking care of yourself. But in this row, you have the 4 of Cups, the 3 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Pentacles. Number one, I feel like this 4 of Cups is partially completely separate from the reading. I feel like some of you could be receiving a love offer and you're just kind of like, you know, do I want it? Do I want it? Do I not want it? That is the question. And I feel like you're kind of looking at all the past things that have happened, and this is like a new thing that's coming in for you, and you're just saying, is this going to be the same? Is it going to be like everything else that I've done, or is it going to be new? And I feel like there are some questions that you can ask yourself to answer that question for yourself. Two of Swords. Two of Swords would say, number one, are you in a different place? If you are in a different place in your life and you have healed, for example, or maybe you're moving or changing your location, maybe you're literally in a different place, then the Four of Cups could say, this is going to be different, right? The other question is Three of Pentacles, right here. Three of Pentacles card of, are you on the same team? You know, it's like, are you working towards shared goals and wishes and dreams? Are you kind of like working together as a team? So if a person is coming into your life in a relationship, Three of Pentacles says, can you be on a team with this person? Can you really work together, build each other up, and all that other good stuff? If the answer is yes, then I think it would be worth giving it a shot. If the answer is no, then I would say no. The other question you can ask is Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is, you know, if you put work in, do they put work in? If the answer is yes, then keep going. I mean, to me, it's pretty simple as far as love is concerned with that Eight of Pentacles. My problem with the energy right now is that, you know, I think that some people don't want to be alone. So it's like someone comes in, the answer is no to a lot of those questions, and then they continue to date the person, and then they get hurt. So I would pay very close attention, and I would say don't just be with someone just to be with someone. Make sure you're doing it for the right reasons with that Eight of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles is a card of teamwork, like I said. It's a card of quality work, so I feel at the end of the month, even though this reading isn't for the end of the month, I feel like you're going to be feeling very motivated to put work into something, and you're going to be doing diligent work. The Eight of Pentacles, it doesn't necessarily represent hard work, although you know, he could be working hard, that he could be, but it's more important that he's doing good work. You know, he's doing diligent work. He's really paying attention to the things that he's working on. And the Eight of Pentacles is material success on the horizon. It literally says what you are working on now will pay off in the future. And it doesn't just have to be about money either. This could be about you working on your love life. You could be working on yourself as well. So whatever you're doing, it seems to be paying off, or it will be paying off in the future with the Eight of Pentacles. And I really like to see that. And I also feel that you should be like very, very focused on what you work on with the Eight of Pentacles energy. But that's where this is going so far. I like it. Part 2 is linked up in the description down below.